Hello and welcome to the Art of Decluttering podcast. I'm your host, Amy Revell. Welcome to those of you who have discovered the Art of Decluttering via YouTube in the last week. You're very welcome. You can always listen to the podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or on YouTube now, wherever you like. I will be there. I will be there. Today, I'm talking to you about the difference between neat and tidy. What I always felt like growing up is people would say, oh, they have such a neat and tidy house. Like a neat and tidy were Bert and Ernie, or it was the two things that kind of went together always. And so then what I kind of figured out as I grew older was that you could either be neat and tidy or you could be not neat and tidy. You couldn't be one or the other. But then I had this real, I suppose, an insight as I started going to clients' homes is that you walk into some houses, and any professional organizer will tell you this, that you walk in and you look around and you think, this person has called the wrong professional. They absolutely don't need my help. There's no decluttering and organizing to do in this house. It looks so neat. But then you open up a cupboard or you look under the sink or you go into the walk-in robe and you realize that it's actually, the perception is neat, but it's actually untidy. Things don't have homes. Things don't live in their homes. And so what I want to kind of unpack with you today is the understanding that neat and tidy are not the same thing. We use them interchangeably all the time, but I want to kind of explore it with you so that you might be able to better identify whether it's a neat issue or whether it's a tidy issue for you. And so it might help you to kind of look at your spaces a bit differently. Because if you think that neat and tidy are exactly the same thing, you're probably going to end up a bit frustrated because you're going to think, but I am tidy. Why doesn't it look neat? Or I am a neat person. Why is everything so untidy? So it's not a personal failing that you're kind of struggling with this neat and tidy concept. So we're going to break it down together. You don't need to just have more motivation in order to get neat and tidy. You actually need to define what each of those things are and understand them because you can work towards it. And I would say in my house, we are tidy, but we're not always neat. And so I'm gonna explain what that is. So neatness is like a surface level cleanliness. It's a visual representation of like everything's in order. It looks really neat. It's like when you go into an Airbnb or a hotel or you go somewhere fancy, everything is neat, meaning you look at it and it looks like everything's in its place. You can't see a pile of clutter on the bench. You can't see, kids' toys everywhere. It's kind of the neat is what you do when you have people coming over. You want to clear off the bench top or you want to quickly pick everything up. And neat is what you want them to see. But what you're going to do with that stuff is put it in a spare bedroom, in a cupboard, in a drawer. You're going to hide it away. So you're not actually getting tidy. You're getting neat. And so neat is something that is temporary because it's actually just about perception. So it might be that you've like made the bed and you're taking a photo or you're having a guest come through and they can see your bedroom. But what they can't see is inside the walk-in robe where you've just got like piles of clothes, 3 buckets of clean laundry that you haven't put away yet. And you've got your paperwork sitting in there and they haven't seen that in your ensuite. You've got towels on the floor and you've got more products and you know what to do with the benches cupboard. But your bedroom is like perceived as neat because it looks neat, but you haven't been tidy. Neat is like what you do when you want to be on your best behavior. It's like the show pony of organizing is neat. Whereas tidy is so much more about where things belong and about having homes for items so that when you are finished using something, you can put it away. And tidy requires skill because it's something you want to be able to maintain over time. I think that often what we feel like is we want the neat house and we get complimented and we get rewarded for neat. It's not often that you get rewarded for tidy when someone's like, oh, that's so good that you could just find the pair of scissors when I needed them. Often people walk in and they go, oh my gosh, your house is so neat. And what they mean is like, I can't see any evidence of life. I can't see where you've put down your coffee cup. I can't see where you're halfway through a book. But actually everything is away and it's perfect. Like a neat kind of like errs towards perfection. Whereas I would think that tidy is like all that functionality. So yes, you might come to my house and there's a handbag at the front door and there's a pair of shoes and there's a drink bottle on my desk because I'm actually using all of those things. But if I needed to tidy, I could put those away. It's like tidiness supports your everyday living. It's not just about having this performative, like neat house. if you think about it, which one do you want? Tidiness or neatness? Now, what I think, what I anticipate is everyone's going to say both. And then if you had to pick, you're going to go, well, I want neat. I want people to be able to walk in and see that my house is neat. But if you're not tidy, your house to you will probably never seem neat, because the foundation of true neatness is actually tidiness. You can allow other people to think that your house is neat, but when you yourself know deep down that in the linen cupboard, you've got presents that you bought for kids 5 years ago that you've never used, and that you've got, too many hair products, you know that your house isn't neat because there's not that foundation of tidy. And so if you are constantly pursuing neatness, it's a lot of work because you're looking around it and you kind of clear away the clutter, you kind of clear away the mess without actually dealing with it. So my encouragement, what I want to talk to you about is like, what do we do when your house doesn't stay neat all the time, and how do we make it tidy? So what tidy might look like is you've got a home for everything and you can put things away, you can easily find things. And it means that when you're looking for something, you can easily find it. And your house just functions really well. With a really tidy house, you shouldn't have to be cleaning up too often. You shouldn't actually have to tidy that often because you're just returning things to where they already live. Whereas when you're going for a neat look, you're often like scrambling, like, where am I going to put this? How do I put this away? Where can I hide all of this stuff? And we don't want to be hiding stuff. We just want to be living with it. If you want to go like all in for the neat house and you want it to be maintainable, just understand you need to get tidy nailed first. And so also the differentiation I want to make is tidy doesn't mean perfect. So you've heard me describe before the way that we use our wardrobes in our house. So we've taken all wardrobe doors off. So no wardrobe in our house has a door because, I mean, that would be neat, wouldn't it? You'd have a door and it would be covering it and it would look fantastic. However, we found that in our family, it was much harder to maintain tidy with cupboards on our doors. And so we've taken them off. And so what tidy looks like for us is that everything is away. I don't want a basket of washing that is clean and needs to be put away. I just want to put it away. And for us, that's quick now because we don't have doors and we can see where everything goes. Now, what we do in our house is we don't fold anything. And so if you've got undies, socks, pajamas, sportswear, leggings, swimwear, anything that kind of doesn't need to be kept in a really neat condition, just gets thrown in the drawer, but it's always in the right drawer. So it's tidy, right? So that's the pajama drawer. That's the swimwear drawer. That's the socks drawer. So things just get thrown in. Now you could make your tidy neat. You could ball up every pair of socks and line them up. You could grab your pajamas and match them and fold them Marie Kondo way so that you can always see everything that you have. That would be a neat and tidy drawer. But what I have is I'm okay with tidy. Like I'm okay with, if I need a pair of pajamas, I just rummage through the pajama drawer and find what I'm looking for. And so I find that tidy is completely satisfactory for me. I do want people to be able to come over to my house and there's not stuff on the floor, on the benches hanging around. But the reason that it's not there is because it's tidy, not because I'm going for neat. So if you're just going for neat all the time, you don't kind of have that underlying discipline of tidy. And tidy is about a home for everything and everything in its home. And it takes away the decision fatigue, which you would often find people with a neat home experience if it doesn't have that underlying tidy. Because if it's always neat, you're making decisions all the time. Oh, where am I going to put that? Where am I going to put that handbag? Where am I going to put those pair of shoes? Where are we going to hide those toys? Where are we going to put the unfolded washing? Always making decisions. But in a tidy home, you're like, I just know the next steps. I know where it belongs and I've made it easy. I've removed some of those barriers and I just take the next step and get it done. And so what you're wanting to do is just like aim for a home that is lived in, home that is maintainable for you. So we're not all going to have the same level of tidy. Like I said, I don't fold any of my clothes. If clothes, I hang a lot of them. So every top is hung, every pair of pants is hung, every skirt, every dress, that's all hung, every jumper. So that way I don't have to fold anything because I either hang it or it goes in a drawer. But for some of you, tidy is going to look like you want your drawers to be neat as well. Like go for your life. If that's maintainable for you, then absolutely do it. But I think if you're constantly struggling with this, like I want everything to be perfect, I want everything to be neat, then you can kind of fall short and not know why and go, oh, I'm just no good at this. But if you look at a space that you're trying to keep neat, So it might be the lounge room. You're trying to keep it neat. Maybe you need to look around and go like, how do I tidy it? Do I have a home for the remotes? Do I have a home for the throw blankets? Do I have a home for the toys that the kids are always bringing into the lounge room to play with? Can I tidy it up without it looking minimal, without it looking like it's like this perfect display house? How do I tidy it up so I'm satisfied, it's tidy, and therefore, like in my mind, if something is tidy and I know where everything is, like that's mission accomplished for me. And when we work with clients, that's generally the case. Some clients we work with are like, I don't want to see any toys. I'm like, great, let's help you become tidy and neat so that it's not only everything away, but it looks good for you. It's aesthetically pleasing. So have a think about the difference between those, because you might find that you've been striving for something that you didn't really need to be striving for, that you actually didn't want, or that has been like out of reach for the wrong reason. You've been trying to achieve neat, but then you're actually like, I just need to find homes for things. And those homes can be practical. Those homes can be neat. You can have a paperwork file where everything just gets dumped in a pile and you go through it once a week. Or you could have a beautiful system in matching colors. It goes on the bookshelf. Like you can make tidy look neat, but it doesn't have to. There can be a differentiation for you. I hope that's helpful. If you're wanting some extra ideas, come over to all of our socials and you'll just find me the Art of Decluttering. Just search on Insta or on YouTube here or on Facebook. You'll be able to find me if you need help with any services. We're in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. So we'd love to help you out. I hope that's been helpful. And until next week, enjoy the freedom.